Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha Television. I'm Akhilesh Suman and you are watching Special Report.
Canada is cool.
In this episode of Special Report, we are in Canada. And in next half an hour, we are going to show you India's Canada Connect and some significant learning lessons.
Canada. What's with Canada? We got great big cities, but a lot of trees and rocks. Yeah, the winter's cold here. Wear 2 pairs of socks. There's half the world's fresh water to paddle your canoe or camp along the shoreline. It's what we like to do in Canada. Ooh, I'm living in Canada. Float my boat in Canada. Oh, bait my hook in Canada.
कनाडा में सब कुछ है जो भारत को चाहिए और भारत के पास वो सब कुछ है जो कनाडा को चाहिए.
In India was using a Canadian model in how we operate. So, and it created, I think, great goodwill between our two countries.
Canada is cool.
Among the many factors responsible for Canada's success are its efficient administration, disciplined citizens, and their social and cultural diversity.
This is not an Indian city, either from Punjab or any other state in India. This is the Punjabi market of Vancouver, and most of the shopkeepers here are of India. Major Singh made a success out of his stay in Canada. He recollects how Canada helped him fulfill his dreams.
I'll give you my example. When I came to Canada, I can see here the lowest to lowest person can also think beyond his bread, butter and shelter. The basic amenity in this country is for everybody. And that's the reason that people will like to come here.
Canada.
If you are a hardworking person, you will rise up in the level, up in the life. And we have seen that people have gone up to a certain level, especially Indians have proven, and Sikhs have especially have proven here that they have raised in the society to a level which is familiar to the whole society today.
Kamal Maroke is the owner of the successful restaurant chain Swad Indian Kitchen. Maroke explains that influence has very little space in the Canadian way of functioning. Talent and hard work always bear fruit. Manjeet Pabla and Joginder Singh Mattu also have similar stories to share. They say the Canadian administration is transparent in its conduct.
इस कंट्री में ये आपको कोई बाधा नहीं करता। वो मिनिस्टर आएंगे, खाना खाएंगे, बेल देंगे, टैप छोड़ेंगे, कल फिर परसों फिर आएंगे। कई बार वो आके लाइन में खड़ी रहते हैं, जगह नहीं होती, मगर ये नहीं बोलेंगे भैया उसको उठाओ, जहाँ पुलिस वाले आ जाए खाना भेजो, वो ऐसा काम नहीं यहाँ पे।
I think in Canada, if this were such things, it would work against the person that's giving the money to the police. You know what I mean? They would, you try to give them, even if you're paying your regular ticket, say if you get a speeding ticket or such, you know, and sometimes you say, oh, I don't have time, can I just pay you, you know, jitna bhi banta hai? वो कहते हैं, no, हम नहीं लेते. Even if you try paying like that, they might actually, you know, take a extra action on you. Why are you even paying like this? You know what I mean? Okay. So it'll work against you.
नहीं इत्थे कोई पैसा नहीं मंगदा, कोई पैसा नहीं मलचावान, किसी को नहीं पैसा, कोई मंगता ही नहीं, देना किया.
I've been a police officer for 25 years, and not one time have I been offered that kind of incentive to help somebody, bribe. Very, very rare here.
एग्जाम्पल मैं देता हूँ, आप कोई भी लड़की है 19 साल की, 15 साल की या 20 साल की या 25 साल की, रात को 3 बजे स्ट्रीट पर जा रही है, उसके माल में मुझे कोई टच नहीं कर सकता.
Canada stands out as an ideal workplace. It is also famed for its immaculate planning. This Canadian national tower made in 1976 is one such example. Until 2007, it was the highest tower in the world.
ये जगह जो टोरंटो है क्या है, जो भी आप बोलते हैं, हाँ ये टावर देख रहे हैं हम.
कैसा लगा ये टावर?
ये टावर भी अच्छा लगा. न्यू प्लेस टू लुक इज़ ऑलवेज ब्यूटीफुल.
यहाँ पे जो मेंटेन करते हैं इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और सब कुछ जो सिस्टम है वो बहुत ही अच्छा है. होपफुली इंडिया में भी एक बार आ जाएगा ऐसा.
We could not resist the dream that something of this finesse should happen in India, and we came across a school of fish. We are strolling among the fish. There are so many of them. We can't help but wonder that in a cave-like structure, there is no leakage, no dampness. Everything is neat and tidy.
How do you like this aquarium?
Oh, it's great. The fish are beautiful. The sharks are real close.
Yeah. She's not scared?
Not yet. No, she seems to be enjoying it. Having a great time.
A visit to the local market was enough to impress us about the high standards of cleanliness there.
You can get all the fruits and vegetables and meat and seafood and cheese and bread and everything, and food from all over the world.
A 2-hour journey from Toronto leads us to the Niagara Falls. This world-famous tourist spot is another reminder of Canada's promise to preserve.
बहुत साफ़ सफाई है और लोग बहुत अच्छे हैं. हर जगह पे लोग बहुत हेल्पफुल है और यहाँ की साफ़ सफाई और हरियाली इट्स वेरी वेरी गुड. और सबसे एक्चुअली निवेदन है कि अगर हम सब अपनी अपनी जगहों को भी साफ़ रखें तो हर जगह सुंदर हो सकती है.
On either side of the Niagara Falls is Canada and the United States of America.
The bridge that you are watching is called Rainbow Bridge. This is the bridge that connects America and Canada. And this is really a bridge of cooperation and peace between the two countries. America and Canada are example of good neighborhood.
I came to the Canada side actually to enjoy the Horseshoe Falls, because there's the U.S. Falls which is not as spectacular as the Horseshoe Falls.
Canadian agriculture has immense significance for India. 35% of lentils imported by India are from Canada.
Being a resource country, many things are being exported to India, which includes lentil and fertilizers and LNG. Some agreement has been entered into between the two countries.
Rajya Sabha TV reached rural Canada, and these are the fields of grapes and strawberries. Indians have very important role in making these green fields and also maintaining these green fields.
On our way back to Toronto, we came across Grape Farms. These vineyards are another tourist attraction. Ice wine is also a popular product from this place.
We are one of the oldest wineries in all of Niagara. We are a 13th generation winemaking family from Germany, and I am very proud to say that we are still family owned. As a matter of fact, we are the oldest family owned winery in all of Canada.
And now we have a look at a gondola ride, absolutely secure and modern. The gondola ride brings you near the cable-supported Lakshman Jhula of Canada. Nothing to fear, people easily cross it. This village is a reflection of what Canada stands for, a fine balance of modern and traditional.
Loving out the outdoors in summer in here and trying to explore mountains and all the wildlife that BC has in store for us.
This is a village called Whistler in British Columbia. This is a village just by name, but it is a key resort. People here come for skiing. The village is situated among high mountains, and people come here even in summers and even in winters. They come here, they stay here for weeks.
Canadians do not compromise on the right to walk, so you will always find well-maintained footpaths everywhere. People who come from India also learn lane driving without any hiccup.
Sidewalk, they call it, yeah. This is maintained by the municipality and other. But people will revolt if they don't have a sidewalks, Because old people go out and walk and do these things, and people live here long.
Drives in Delhi differently, doesn't drive the same way here. But there is no cop watching you. It is because, one, everybody else is driving in the straight line, and if you just get out of that line, you'll get killed. That's number one.
To get a better understanding of Canada's administration, we met the police commissioner of Vancouver. He told us persuasion was an important aspect of policing. People from all communities are included in police services to help serve better.
Vancouver Police Department is considered probably now one of the world's top best run police departments. And one of the reasons for it is that the police body itself, the members of the police department, they reflect the demographics of the city of Vancouver. So there's a big push on this representation on the police force from all communities here.
One of the things that's really important to us in policing in Vancouver is that we have a very diverse workforce and that our police force is representative of the public at large. So we've gone through great lengths over recent years to make sure that we're recruiting people from all different backgrounds, from all different walks of life, and male and female. And right now we have actually 25% of our police department, 1/4 of the police force is female. And we're also very diverse as far as different ethnic and cultural backgrounds. And our officers speak a total of 51 different languages.
To make police more responsive, there is a permanent committee of the police and citizens. Baraj Dahen of Indian origin is a member of that committee.
the police department is governed by a civilian board of governance, and I'm one of the board members. The members of the police board are appointed through the provincial government, and then the chair of the board is the mayor of the city, who is elected by the citizens in Vancouver.
One, when we hire a police officer, our recruit for a constable position, the testing is very rigorous. We look at your background. We do polygraphs for every person we hire.
Preserving human rights is crucial to the Canadian way of living. To ensure that, human rights clinics are run by authorities.
Well, the majority of the violations that we have that are breaches of the Human Rights Code or alleged breaches of the Human Rights Code deal with physical disability. So a lot of those deal with employment, where it may be somebody that gets injured at work and the employer will not accommodate their disability. So they may have a broken leg and the employer still wants them to do the same work, or they may have a bad back and the employer won't let them do what's called lighter duties.
हर 6 महीने में कोई ना कोई सेमिनार होते हैं कहीं ना कहीं और सारे एम्प्लॉयर्स को इन्फॉर्मेशन भेजी जाती है वो लोग आकर के उनको भी इंक्यूजेट होते हैं कि आकर के वो भी देखना चाहते हैं कि क्या-क्या है बहुतों को पता ही नहीं होता है
In a changing world, Canada is not untouched by the scourge of terrorism. We met Canada's first female editor of Indian origin. She says the way Canada counters radicalization is by making education, health and other amenities universal and easily accessible for its citizens.
But it also has to come from police, and it comes from security, and it comes from education. So it's really, the previous Conservative government, I felt, really understood that and was trying to work with different communities to ensure, with their leadership and the youth groups and things like that, to remind people, of their value and the opportunities that they have.
Museums help spread the message of tolerance and multiculturalism in Canada. We visited 3 museums, the Royal Ontario Museum, Aga Khan Museum and the Museum of Anthropology.
Well, I think museums become repositories of history. So we try to save artifacts and items from the past that perhaps wouldn't get saved so that people in the present can understand their history. At the Royal Ontario Museum, we've chosen to be a museum of world culture and natural history. So we try to preserve things to help us understand the past and the present as a way to hopefully understand where we're going in the future.
The aim of our museum is to showcase the arts and cultures of all of the Muslim world.
Yeah.
So when you go through our galleries, you will actually encounter the major cultures of the Muslim past. Everything from the major cultures of Iran straight through to Mughal India. You'll encounter the Fatimids of Egypt, the Ottomans. Our museum is there to capture all of it.
Canadian education is world-renowned. The thrust on practical training and understanding is its hallmark.
Properties that we're going to be detecting on these 2 photo diets.
Many of our programs integrate a learning in action where we give students the opportunity to engage in experiential learning. Co-ops is something that's very unique in Canada. So as an international student, students can actually apply for a co-op that gives them the opportunity to take all of that theory that they're learning in the classroom and go out into the professional working world and apply that knowledge as a student.
India is collaborating with Canada in research projects to provide solutions for its development needs. IC Impact, as these projects are known, gives special emphasis to water management, community health, and infrastructure development and maintenance.
I think India has changed a lot from the time I left the country. There's a great deal of exuberance, there's a great deal of optimism in the program. And the very fact that I think they would actually agree to collaborating and doing joint research work with us shows that in fact there is a great desire to make progress. So I'm very optimistic, I think, and I don't see any hindrances in India anymore.
Another field of Indo-Canadian collaboration can be seen in India universities. At the British Columbia University in Vancouver, Simon Fraser University and Ryerson University in Toronto, students of IIT and IM also get involved in research projects. The projects revolve around issues that directly impact lives of common people.
Our focus on entrepreneurship has become a new phase in Canadian business education. Majority of the 60 business schools in Canada have developed entrepreneurship program where it's not so much the small business person, but the creative and the owner and the founders of business get educated at business schools and go and start businesses.
One of the best things about Canadian universities that they don't create parasites, and that is why 60% of the students who come from outside, they go back to their own countries. But the sad thing about that, there is no mechanism to utilize their experience and understanding when they go back to their countries. And that is why Canada is Canada and Asia remains as much as Asian.
Stuart Beck was High Commissioner of Canada in India when Prime Minister Modi was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He had played a key role in strengthening Indo-Canadian ties.
Take a look at historically, it's been a Punjabi diaspora that's coming to Canada, but that's changed. We now have 30% of the diaspora in Toronto is Gujarati. We have a large Keralite population in Toronto. BC tends to be more Punjabi because that's been the historical immigration pattern, but even that's changing today. We open an office in Bangalore. Why? Because we'd like to see more immigration from the south of India. So these are the things that are important to our country. We have to have immigration for us to be able to grow. We're only 35 million people. So we have great immigrants that have come from India. They have helped our economy dramatically. They tend to be very entrepreneurial. And they are really the source of a lot of growth that we're seeing now.
The former High Commissioner tells us that when the world is talking about smart cities, India and Canada are working on smart villages.
And either working on a particular city in India. Again, this is something that's important to Mr. Modi. I like to think that we can play an important role in smart villages. How do we improve the people's life at the village level? How do we improve community health? How do we improve water, potable water? These are the things that I think Canada has some experience and areas that we can explore that would be of tremendous benefit to India.
In Toronto, we also met the Indian High Commissioner to Canada, Vishnu Prakash. He informed us that there is massive Canadian investment in the Indian infrastructure industry.
दुनिया भर में व्यापार कम हो रहा है, कनाडा और इंडिया का व्यापार बढ़ रहा है। पिछले 24 महीनों में कैनेडियन पेंशन फंड्स ने $10 बिलियन की पूंजी निवेश की है भारत में। $10 बिलियन। दो बड़ी कंपनियों ने ब्रुकफील्ड और फेयरफैक्स फाइनेंशियल ने बिलियंस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेक्टर में इन्वेस्ट किए हैं। इंडियन ऑयल कॉरपोरेशन ने $4 बिलियन LNG गैस पाइपलाइन में इन्वेस्ट किए। तो और हमने यहाँ से यूरेनियम लेना शुरू कर दिया है। एजुकेशनल ताल्लुकात बढ़ रहे हैं। तो हर तरफ से, हर दृष्टिकोण से हमारे ताल्लुकात, हमारे कोऑपरेशन, पार्टनरशिप बड़ी तेज़ी से बढ़ रही है।
Canada is a great example of better management of resources and manpower. It not only has a functioning structure, but also a conducive environment. We asked a South Asian student if this could be replicated in our countries. He candidly observed it is like a dream, but not impossible.
That's all in this report today. But before we meet again, I just want to mention there are a large number of NRIs living in Canada and we need to learn from their experiences. We need to create a mechanism so that they can come and participate in the development of our society, of our country in a sustained way. Akhilesh, Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person Bharat Raj in Toronto.
Canada.